So our awareness is our soul. Sometimes it's easy to think thinking and perceiving is who we are, but thoughts are like they're objects, they're clouds in the sky passing by, and they're constantly changing from one to another. And but it's the observer behind the thoughts. It's our awareness. That's who we are. I mean, if you think, if one thinks that our thoughts in this body is who we truly are, then I can see where people think death is this end all, life is over for you. But when you understand that your soul moves on, well, what is your soul? Well, it's your awareness. I mean, computers can think and put together thoughts, but they're not aware. And our true selves is the awareness. The body you have today is not the same body you were born with, but the awareness remains consistent. The thoughts you're having now, in the now, aren't the thoughts that you were having 5 minutes ago, but your awareness doesn't change. So it makes sense to me that awareness, our soul, would move from one lifetime to the next and to the next. And when you think about in scripture, there's some scripture that hints at reincarnation. It's my personal belief that most of it was removed, but there is a shadow left behind. For example, many people thought that Christ was Elijah or one of the other prophets reincarnated. I'm not saying that's what I personally believe, but it is interesting that people had those ideas, and so that he was kind of preparing his own way. I don't know. When speaking on that same topic, when Christ and the disciples went to the man who was born blind, the disciples asked Jesus, these are the people who walked with Jesus every day and knew him best. They asked Jesus, who sinned that this man shall be born? Was it his parents, or was it the man himself, that he should deserve to be born blind? So implying that he did something before his birth that would cause this to happen. And so sometimes, if in traditional Christian way of thinking, you get one shot at either heaven or hell, it's one or the other, and you get one short life to decide a punishment or reward that lasts for all eternity. Even as a small child, that did not resonate with me. It did not make sense at all. And the key to understanding these mysticisms or mysteries of God is to, I don't mean to talk in riddles, but is to realize there's nothing to figure out. You just need to remove the dogmas in our heads. It's our thoughts that try to stop us from understanding our true selves. Our ego dies hard. One must let go of that ego, but it dies hard, and it tries to cling on and say, no, I'm what you are, from one thought to the next. That's, who I really am. But when you think about it logically, it's the awareness. So it doesn't make sense, I want to get back on topic of this, that person should live one life and then it's just one judgment and then it lasts for all eternity. Because what if somebody is raised in a Christian home and the other person is raised someplace in the world where they've never even heard of Christ, and maybe the other person, their life is cut short. I mean, that's slightly unfair. Or sometimes in life, people are asked to do very difficult things. Looking back in history, we see people were really put to the test. And I don't know that a person could really do that in one lifetime. Like I think they have to build up to that. Just like a child going to school, you can't take a small child and expect them to perform at a college level um, in any subject. So to me, it takes a long time to get there. And going through the different grades, going back to the school analogy, could very well be compared to each lifetime, first grade, second grade, third grade, so on and so on. And, when Christ asked his disciples to follow him, I mean, they were all making sacrifices. A lot of people that were heavily involved in his ministry, in the ministry of Christ, was put themselves at risk, put their families at risk, put their livelihoods on hold. A lot of them made great sacrifices, and in my opinion, they probably had previous lives that led up to that. I don't know if you could just take a 22-year-old or 24-year-old or anybody for that matter and just say, hey, what do you think about doing this and sacrificing everything? I don't know. There's very few people that could do that. And so it probably takes lifetimes to get there. But if we identify with our body and our thoughts, which are things, as being ourselves, then we're losing out that who we really are, and that's the awareness. The awareness does not change. It's just like the space in this room. And I don't mean the things in the space, but dust particles and all that. I mean the actual space. I mean, one day, this house, my office that I'm in, it's inevitable. It'll be tore down. But, excuse me, nothing changes about the space that I occupy right now. This space cannot be hurt. This space is like our awareness. A new home will be built here, and somebody else will be occupying this very space. This space cannot be hurt. Things could happen to the space. In the space, I mean, things could happen in the space. A house could crumble down, a house could burn, but the space is not touched. And so that's our awareness. Things could happen to our bodies and our minds, but our awareness can't be changed. That's our soul, eternal soul. And anyway, I've just meditated on these things the other day, and I thought I'd hit record and just kind of recap of what I was thinking. And I'm not sure how I'm going to title this video, because it's kind of like awareness, being your soul, reincarnation, growth through many lives, getting into the mysticism of God. So, I don't know. I wish you all well. Have a great day.